God, the Bible, health, spirituality, life, death, and so much more here on Reconsidered. We're going to talk about health. We spoke about Bible and scripture and prophecy and all those types of things quite a bit, and history. But right now we're going to speak a little bit about history, but on a healthy note. So let's talk about juice. Let's talk about juice. What happens to your body when you drink fruit juice every day? I'm looking online at a published article from 2026. Thank you. I just want to share a few things because, in my recollection, growing up, do you guys remember apple juice? Apple juice and vanilla wafers. Do you remember apple juice and vanilla wafers? That's a huge preschool age snack. Apple juice and vanilla wafers. Do you remember prune juice? Do you remember that bottle of prune juice just sitting there in your pantry for ages? And you would pull it out, mom would pull it out when you had a little constipation. You were told, go get some prune juice or eat a few prunes. Remember that? Do you remember orange juice? Yes, orange juice. Orange juice was always that I feel like I want something refreshing or I'm sick and I need orange juice. The other big one was ginger ale. Ginger ale. And I'm from the Midwest, so Berners is something that some people don't know about, but Berners is a very strong ginger ale. So, yes, ginger ale. Canada Dry. You remember those things? We always had ginger ale. If any time you said your friend was sick, they say, oh, I had some ginger ale. Ginger ale, yes. Now we know how to make ginger beer. Yes, from the Caribbean. All right, so ginger juice. That was always good for our immunity, right? As well as orange juice. Do you remember cranberry juice? How about ocean spray? What was your favorite? Then we had cranberry juice, and it was like different flavors, but we always had cranberry juice because it was good for what? Our urinary tract. All right, so what other juice do you recall that just tastes good? Was it grape juice? Which one did you like? Did you like the white grape juice or the Concord grape juice? It depends on what mood you were in, right? Okay, so what other juices can we think of? Those are some of the common juices that most of us had in our homes growing up years ago, right? And we also had the famous Kool-Aid. It's powder, but it was something that most of us had a lot of in our homes. And we would make it. Some people made it more sugary than others. But I preferred lemonade, and I feel like my siblings and I had mastered it. It was not too sweet. And sometimes mom would make grape aid with fresh lemons and grape lemonade, Kool-Aid, which was so delicious. And it was refreshing, especially on a hot day. So we were not just drinking water only, were we? We were juicing quite a bit back in the day. Every now and then, we get apple cider. Yeah, apple cider was that autumn, twist to the apple juice, the fresh one that you get from the apple when you went apple picking and the apple, what is it called? The apple, yeah. So we drank more juice than we do now, don't we? Why is that? What happened? And so we started hearing things like, if you drink juice, your blood sugar levels might spike. Beware. Your calorie intake could increase. Beware. You might get cavities. Beware. Your type 2 diabetes may increase. Beware. Beware, beware, beware of juice. Something that people have been drinking for all time. Since the advent of fruit, we have been drinking fruit juice. And a lot of times, because fruit is naturally sweet, you don't have to add any sugar. But sometimes it is. So, what do you remember when you drank juice? When you used to drink a lot of juice, were you overweight? When you used to drink a lot of juice, did you lack energy? When you used to drink a lot of juice, did you need supplements? So let's see what we can find about the positives about juice. It improves your nutrient intake. So if you drink the juice, we're getting more vitamins and minerals than people who don't, such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, vitamin C, vitamin D. So, research would suggest that replacing 100% fruit juice with whole fruits didn't significantly affect the overall nutrient intake except the fiber. And we all knew that, right? So we get the fiber when we eat the whole fruits, but we still get the nutrients with the juice. And what I used to do and what I recall everyone else doing, we always had juice. Sometimes we wanted juice. You remember when you would eat and there'd be a bunch of little kids and they say, so what do you want to drink? We used to have a lot of drinks. You know, it was important to bring drinks to a function, right? Like someone's gonna bring the juice, someone's gonna bring the sodas for the soda people, and then we had faucet water. So, yeah, we drank water, but a lot of times they say, what do you want to drink? One person says, I want a Sprite. I want a orangeade. I want some juice. And you might have one kid that's going to say, I want some water, please. When we needed water, we knew we needed water, right? We didn't neglect the water. We would go fill us up a glass of water and drink it when we really felt like it. Was like we naturally knew when we needed water, and we knew when we needed and wanted juice. So also, drinking 100% fruit juice in moderation can prevent chronic diseases, especially if it has citrus fruits or fruits that are rich in antioxidants. And it protects our cells from disease and damage. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Those are pretty good things about juice. And so the point of this discussion is, do not be afraid of drinking juice. We want to drink our water and stay hydrated. We want to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. But let's drink some more juice. Juicing, we can do it ourselves. We might not get as much. We might go to someone who makes fresh cold press or fresh squeezed juices, and that's nice if you can afford it. But if not, then there are non-concentrate juices out there still. Concord grape, cranberry, cherry, grapefruit, different. Yeah, you guys remember the grapefruit juice? The pink grapefruit juice versus the regular grapefruit juice? Which one did you like? Did you used to add sugar to it or did you just drink it straight? I think we all like had more access to juice, especially in the time period I was growing up. And then all of a sudden we became afraid of juice and we stopped drinking the grapefruit juice and the orange juices and the cranberry juices. And a lot of us are complaining that we don't understand why we're drinking so much water, we're exercising, but we just can't get it right. So let's try to hydrate not only with water, but also with some juice too. And let's try not to be so strict about our water bottles. You remember the other thing that we used to do a lot? We used to sit there and we used to drink a lot as we ate. But now that we don't have time, we just kind of eat and we drink later. We should be eating and drinking at the same time. That will help us not eat and consume so much. And also it'll help us later because the liquids will be mixed in with the food and we'll be able to expel it easier. So I just want us to not be afraid of juice, even if it's not the highest quality juice. And I know some people might not want me to say it, but when I drank Kool-Aid, I don't think I had much of a problem with the lemonade too much. Don't be so strict on ourselves. Sometimes we need a little something sweet to our palate, a little citrus. Even if it's concentrate, sometimes that's all people have access to, but it's going to still keep you hydrated and encourage little ones to drink and stay hydrated because they might not always want water or the water in the area might not taste good. So let's drink some juice. I didn't say sodas and I didn't say colas. I said juice. So let's drink some juice. And if you know how to make your own ginger ale or ginger beer, do that too. Now we have access to a lot of different types of fruits and we can make them, but we can still buy them. And if you can find non-concentrate, do it. If every now and then you need a little concentrate, just don't drink as much. But don't be afraid of juice.